Hello guys, welcome to or welcome back to Booktober! Let's... Oh, I just made such a mess. We try that again. Let's Booktober trick or treat! Oh, do you remember day one when I said I know what two of them are? This is one of them. Okay, I know it's from Allie, but I don't know which one it actually is. I can't open it. You've made my life so hard with this challenge. Wow, Sam, you are so good at writing A Deadly Education. Wow! This was, I believe, the trick from Allie.
Sam, how the hell are you? Also, have you seen Holes? Every single time I say your name, I think of this. Sam! Alright, I've been putting this off because I'm terrified that both of these are going to be tricks for you, so my apologies, but I have the best intentions. And these could also both be treats. So my pick for treat is the Incandescent. I have not read this, so that's why I'm not sure if it's an actual treat. But I saw on Goodreads that this is on your TBR-owned shelf, so I know you have it, so you must be interested in it. And honestly, I've only heard good things about this. Academic, magic, yes please. And then your official trick, I just don't know if you're gonna like this, okay? This is also on your TBR-owned shelf, but A Deadly Education. Have you read this? I fucking love this book. I gave it a 4.5 initially, and then it bumped up to a 5, and I just love it so much. But I know not everyone does. There's a varying level of ratings from 1 to 5 stars, so I just gotta know what you think about this. Just to prepare you, it's a little slow paced, a little bit slice of life in a magical school. It's very dangerous though. Oh, I might read this with you if you end up reading this. I don't know. If for some reason you've already read these, let me know and I'll pick something else, because now I'm actually excited to see if you read these and you enjoy them or if you hate them. Could be kind of fun. Happy Booktober, babe. Love ya.
So, I will be reading A Deadly Education for the first time ever, which feels crazy. That book has been out for many years now. It's by Naomi Novik. It is a deadly magical school. Like, what more do you really need to know? I don't know a whole lot about it, except for we are following a character at a magic school. Yep, that's it. That's what I got for you. Thank you so much, Allie. I am so excited. So, this might be a little bit spoilers, but the reason I put hearts all over this one from Allie was because she recommended 2 Dark Academia books that I was really excited for both. And I thought, wow, Allie either religiously watches my videos, which I know she's busy and works, and that's not the case. Therefore, she knows my soul, and she listens telepathically. We've been linked. We've been friends for many years now. And she recommended 2 books that I was going to mush into a reading vlog outside of Booktober that I was just interested in. Basically, the treat book that Allie do is read. Should have said her full government name. The treat book that she gave me was The Incandescent by Emily Tesh, which you can watch. I unboxed a few months ago. And I got that edition. It's beautiful. It's from Owl Crate. And on the inside, it is comped to 2 books that I was like, oh, I have an interest in reading these. That could be a really interesting vlog to see like their similarities. And of course, Allie also recommends alongside The Incandescent A Deadly Education. And I was like, I have to. So I will actually be reading 3 books in this Booktober video. Normally they're just 1, maybe 2, but this one is going to be 3 books. I'm going to read The Incandescent, A Deadly Education, and Plain Bad Heroines, which are comp titles to The Incandescent. I'm so excited. These are all Dark Academia. 2 of them are queer. They're all, I'm assuming, well, wow, I was gonna say, well, they also all have school involved, but it's Dark Academia, so obviously that makes sense. Ay. Anywho, thank you so much, Allie. I am actually, sorry to everybody else, maybe most excited about this vlog concept just because I had it prior to even getting recommendations, prior to even having like Booktober trick or treat fully thought out. So this is really exciting for me. I was really eager to get to these books. They feel like they are going to fit the perfect spooky autumn vibe. With all of that said, let's jump in to the reading vlog where I will start with one of them. Whatever one makes sense in my brain. Hey guys, this video is brought to you by Allie Does Read. I am planning to do this in an Allie style 24-hour readathon session. Any baking or cooking done in this vlog will not be gluten-free, and I do apologize for that. Sorry. But I think I'm gonna start with The Incandescent. I don't know if that's gonna be the right way to go, but I feel like if I read this first, it'll probably wow me a little bit more, and then I can read these like tried and trues, and hopefully this order makes more sense. I'm worried that like if I read these first, I'll be like, oh, this is too similar, but I'm hoping to find the similarities and talk about, I don't know. We're kind of playing it by ear, but I figured I would read the Incandescents first and then go back and read like the comped source materials. I don't think that they're actually related. The Incandescent, which this is the Owl Crate Special Edition, this is a sapphic dark academia fantasy. We're following a teacher who is Director Walden, is one of the most powerful magicians in England and the director of a magic at Shetwood School. And then after completing her graduating thesis by binding a powerful demonic entity into a phoenix tattoo on her forearm, she returned to her alma mater to teach. Now her days consist of meetings teaching A-level invocation at 4 talented and chaotic teenagers, but more meetings and securing the school's boundaries from demonic insurgents. Walden is good at her job. No, Walden is great at her job when a new threat emerges in the form of a hired demon that has long waited patiently just beyond the school's ward, an entity known sardonically as Old Faithful. Walden and her colleagues, including the aggressively competent Laura Kennings, may be able to contain it. The demon are masters of manipulation, and Old Faithful is only the beginning of their problems. If Walden's responsibility is to keep her school with 600 students and centuries-old legacy safe, and it's possible the entity Walden most needs to keep her school safe from is herself. So, I am very intrigued to see how this is gonna go. I will be honest, I haven't read Some Desperate Glory, which is their space opera that came out maybe last year, but I did read the Green Hollow duology. I did read that and I didn't love it super much, and so I'm worried that, like, what if me and this author's writing don't jive? But the synopsis flap is written in such like a specific way that it sounds kind of fun and silly while still being serious. It's interesting following a teacher rather than the students. So this is where we're going to start. I am really excited about this. I don't know what more is going to be in store, but in true Allie fashion, 24-hour readathon, we're starting, it's 10:09 right now. So maybe I'll start either at 10:15 or 10:30, just so that it feels more rounded out. I did the math, and based on my reading speed, this should take me like 14 to 15 hours to read, and that's like not counting the breaks that I will be taking or the sleep that I will be having. I won't be so true in the sense that I stay up this whole time, but I'm going to try and stay up later because I don't work tomorrow. So that's kind of my plan. But I think maybe some coffee will be necessary. Maybe I have to bake something with bananas because mine are quite ripe. So I have to figure out something with that, which might not be a spooky Halloween thing, but hey, we're dark academia today. So that's kind of my plan. I will check in with you guys when I have some beginning thoughts about the Incandescents. But until then, ta-ta. I think I'm gonna go get some coffee while I wait for my timer to begin. Okay, so I have made it 100 pages in, end of a chapter. We love to see when that happens. Technically, I'm like 5 pages off from being like a perfect 25% in, but yeah. As I've already read the synopsis too, I don't feel like I need to reiterate that a whole lot, but I am liking it. It is very academia. Like, we are following the director of magic. She teaches 4 students invocation, which is like summoning demons, and we are learning a lot about different types of demon. We're having like philosophical debates about demons with students, and we're seeing a lot of like the staff meetings, and we're seeing the classes, and we're getting to know the students. So it is very much like school first, which I know is a common critique. Like, all of my dark academias are back there, and often critique on academia books would be that like you're not seeing enough of the school. Like, you don't get to see enough of the classes, and you don't know enough about like what they're being taught and everything. This definitely is like showing you what the day-to-day life of a student would be. Like, it's a boarding school, so on Sundays they go on excursions, and Saturday there's still some kind of classes, and what they do in different classes, and like who the different teachers are. Like, you're really seeing the full picture of this boarding school and what it's really like at Chetwood, which I do really appreciate. I think that's really fun, especially when it's like a fantastical and magical school, because you're like, well, what would it be like? They've got houses similar to that other famous wizard school. They've got different names. Previously, what are now sorcerers were previously known as rogues, which were magic users that were not properly trained, whereas this is like a school for those students. 2 of our students are orphans and like so beyond powerful, but are being taught how to hone it in. So we've got Anita, which is like the star pupil kind of student, like always aiming for straight A+. We have Will, who is like rich white boy who descends from like a long lineage of power and money. We have Mateus, who is one of the orphan type students that is incredibly powerful, but like very shy and a little bit more humbled. And then we have the last girl who's causing problems, Nikki. Nikki is our like big star of the show out of the 4 students. She had the tragic past of summoning a demon that killed her parents when she was younger. She was 7 years old. And so we're following like her, and there's this ancient demon that is kind of lingering around the campus, always trying to worm its way in and like consume people to the best of its ability. And that's like a big, oh no, we can't have that happen. But Old Faithful is here, and Nikki has some kind of relation to Old Faithful. 100 pages in, we are already like, it feels like we're at a climax. Like, this, if any other author wrote a book similar to this, like this would be at the end. Like, you would have had 300 pages of school and setup, and this would have been like the big climax, which I think is really exciting and interesting. Like, we start the book a couple chapters in, we see some meetings and classes, but then we get to see the first class where they summon a demon, and that's like where we start. And now we are at a climax where there's this like huge event happening, and there's a lot of high stakes. Like, are these students going to survive? Like, what's going on? I am really enjoying like the decisions that are being made so far. I think the writing is good, but not like so standout spectacular. It's written in 3rd person, but we're still primarily following Dr. Walden or Sappy, and we're getting like italicized like internal thoughts that Dr. Walden has, but it's told in 3rd person, and the 3rd person narration is constantly saying Walden, so we're referring to her by her last name, which I think is a very interesting take, because it kind of keeps you at like arm's length and distance from the character, but I still like we're really getting a full picture of who this character is with their relation to the students and other faculty members. We have the marshal, director, head of magic person, which is Laura. We love a hot woman with a sword. Like, oh my god, what a badass. So I'm really enjoying like it's not like a hate to love kind of relationship. Like, there's been nothing romantic yet, except for like, damn, she's really good with a sword and she's kind of hot, but minus like those few glimpses, like they don't align with how the way things are running, and they're not they're equals in terms of like being the boss and in charge of their sections. So they're trying to like come together and like have a relationship and work towards the greater good, but also like have a lot of disagreements, which I think is like a really fun way to start off a relationship, because you really get to see the differences in them. Like, the way that they talk is so different. Like, I think that the character voices in this is really strong, and I really appreciate it. I'm having a really good time. It's not the most engaging, like, you're not like, yes, there is a good amount of action, and I like seeing the school side of things. So nothing has been like a bad thing. Nothing has been critique and like a don't like it. But with all of this said, there are definitely like some lull moments where I personally am just like tired right now, and I'm also very hungry. So after this check-in, I'm having lunch. There's just like moments where I'm like, I'm a little sleepy. I could put it down. I could walk away. So there is like, I don't think this will work for everybody. I think some people will find it a little bit more on the boring side, or might not like all of these characters as much. They're not the you know what? It kind of reminds me of Emily Wilde. Like Walden has that distance, has that academia mindset, like very focused on work and what needs to get done rather than emotions or whatnot. So I think that's kind of interesting. So not saying this is at all similar to Emily Wilde, but her character kind of reminds me in some ways of that. Yeah, I am enjoying my time. I'm having fun. I'm interested to see like what's going to happen since we're at this like almost climax point part. First climax, I suppose, because we're only, a quarter of the way in. I'm gonna make lunch. I have no idea what, but I'm gonna have lunch and then I'm gonna continue on reading. It is an hour later. I started so much later than I meant. I started at 11:30 because I had to go get the coffee and then I had to make my own version of the coffee. We're an hour and 15 minutes in technically. So I'm gonna have lunch, take a little pause, and then I'm gonna jump right back into this. But I'm excited to keep on reading. I'm excited to see where we go. Hello, I am back. 50% in. Check in. It's been 3 hours since we started. Not doing too terrible. So we're 3 hours in. We have seemingly dealt with Old Faithful, which is interesting. I did really enjoy those parts. I really enjoy the way that like history has been woven in. It was pretty clear early on that there was like an incident with Old Faithful and that our main character was like kind of tied to it. But it was like obvious in the way that like we dealt with it pretty quick and early on. So I'm very curious to see like what more is there for us to do in this latter half. But I really enjoy the way that history's kind of been like woven in and like rewritten in a way to like include magic and demons and like how wars were done because there was demons and like things like that. I'm really actually enjoying. Something that I'm actually really loving about new releases and just like the direction we're so very slowly, the direction that we're heading in with writing is that this book especially amplifies it. I wouldn't say like super amplifies it, but is doing it in a way that I'm acknowledging, noting, appreciating. But when we introduce characters, we've got Anita, who is an Indian girl. We have Nikki, who's a Black English girl. And then we have the boys, which they've all been men for the most part. But we're addressing the fact that they are white and they are being described to us as white and not in a weird way, but just being like, hey, this person is white, this person's Indian, this person's Black. And it just feels normal. And it's such a small thing that should just be in everybody's writing, but it's really changing the fact that people are classified and assumed to be like the standard of white. Like everybody is white unless said or proven otherwise. And I think that's silly. And so I'm really enjoying that there are books that are kind of straying away from that we're getting better at being like, hey, this person is white, this person is Black, this person's Indian, and it just being normal. And it's crazy that like it's 2025 and this is still something that like is not happening enough, but I'm excited to see more new releases do this, and I'm looking out for it, and I'm really appreciating the authors who go out of their way to say these are the people and not just assuming that the standard has to be white. Love it. The other thing that I have to note really is just that I'm enjoying the humor. I find that this book is funny. I've laughed out loud a couple of times. I'm really enjoying that as well. Because there was like this incident with the school's demon, the romance has taken a shift that I was not expecting. It kind of came and went. And so I'm curious to see if Laura is going to play a bigger role, if romance is going to be another like B plot in this, or if it really is just going to be a focus on the school. We have now shifted. We're in November and we are seeing the aftermath of this big event, which I think is really interesting. Often we have like the climax of a book and it's this big event and you're fighting the big bad and like you're trying to win, and then the hero wins and the book ends. And it's kind of nice because it's a twist on that where it's like the climax happened and now we get to see the afterfall and the aftermath of like what to do now, rules and regulation that has to change because this thing happened. And I think that's really cool. I think that works really well, especially in like an academic setting where it's like, yeah, like if it's sort of like if this happened with Don't Let the Forest In, like once we hit that climax, the book kind of ends and it's got a more ambiguous ending. This, it's like we get to see how the school has to react to events that take place. And I think that's really cool, and I think that shows that it's like definitely more on the adult side because that's not really a focus for students, but it's definitely a focus for faculty. And so yeah, I'm really enjoying that. We're still seeing the classes, we're still seeing the meetings, we're seeing like the new implications of these regulations and rules that are trying to be sorted out because of this event. I'm really enjoying this. Again, it's not like so crazy good. Like I don't think it'd be like a 5-star, but I am rather liking it. I think that it's well written. I think that the way it was written, like the pacing and formatting, I think works really well in this style, in the book's favor. So I'm really liking that as well. But yeah, overall, like, it's a good time. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm going to keep reading. I will check in with you guys either when I'm at, please don't destroy my camera. Hey, yeah, I see you. I don't know if I'll check in with you guys when I'm at the 75% mark. At this point, it just kind of makes sense to check in every hour of it, but I might not have anything more to say. Girl, please, my camera is not your play toy. I'll probably check in with you guys 75%. If I have nothing else to say, then I'll just check in 2 hours when it's done. Okay, so I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, it's time to see if Allie's onto something here. I've got sugar-free Monster in Ultra Fantasy Ruby Red. I think it's like grapefruit, which scares me. And a non-diet Sprite because I don't have diet soda because my boyfriend doesn't drink anything sugar-free. Now, Allie likes to mix these. And I need caffeine, so here we are. I haven't tried this flavor before. I don't love Monster's sugar-free drinks as much as other energy drinks. Like, I will down some sugar-free, but for whatever reason, I don't love Monster's sugar-free as much. Hey, that ain't bad. I don't know why I'm doing this with my left hand. I'm not left-handed. I don't know what the ratio is, but we're just gonna, I guess, do it all. Oh, I missed. But yeah, Allie mixes this in her vlogs. I'm gonna try it. The ratio is gonna be real off. It's kind of like I'm drinking Pepto-Bismol, but carbonated. No, it is pretty good. It's kind of like extra citrus Sprite. Honestly, the Sprite is weirdly overpowering, but not a bad combo. I'm pleased. It's been an hour since I last checked in with you guys. I don't really have any further thoughts. My only thoughts on the book would be I was thinking about how I'm like waiting for like what is next, like what we're gonna do, what we're working towards. And I think it's really just her connection with her Phoenix tattoo, which I think is probably the coolest part about this whole book. I would honestly take like a whole book of that, of just like magical tattoos. There was like a moment where I was like, God, I just kind of want to know more about the tattoo. And then we got more about the tattoo. I was like, perfect. So I think it's hitting all the boxes. Anything that I'm like requesting from the book, whenever the pacing, like I start to question if the pacing is right or good, then that's when it's like back on track and like it keeps doing its thing. So like I'm having a good time. I'm having an extra good time. This is actually really good. No, this is really good. Cheers, man. Allie, you've done it. Thank you. Thank you for introducing this to me. Oh, you were so warm from the sun. Oh my goodness. That's my check-in. Okay, so I have an hour and 20 minutes left of my audiobook for the book I'm reading, The Incandescent. So we're kind of like on a good track, on a good pace. We're like almost, we're not too far from the 75% mark, and then I'll finish the last hour and let you know my final thoughts on it, and then probably think about what I'm going to do for dinner later, play some Wii games, and then I think A Deadly Education is going to be the next pick. So this fun little drink and I are going to keep reading, and I'll check in with you guys when I finish the book. I did not really check in last night because I had tummy issues. My tummy hurt. So I went to bed, finished the Incandescence this morning. I had like 40 something pages left, so I finished that up, and now here we are. So finishing this, it's a solid book. Like, I definitely recommend it to people if you like the writing style of Emily Wilde. I think you'll enjoy Walden as a third perspective, like, protagonist. She's definitely more analytical, keeps you a bit at arm's length. She's not like the most emotional. She's very like focused on the academics, the job. She'll like tell you about how to interact with kids and handle them. I think Emily Tesh, based off the acknowledgments, has been or is still a teacher. So there is like real experience there as well. I wouldn't go super far to say this is like the most dark of the dark academia books, but there is off-page death. And so it's like almost teetering the line, but it's definitely academia first, which is why I think a good comp title would be Emily Wilde. But the romance in this, I honestly wish we had more of. I think that it felt quite adult. It's not like a whole lot of on-page flirting or like going on dates or anything. It's just like we have a work relationship. Also kind of think like the other girl is gorgeous. There's not a lot of it. It's very like minimal. You don't really get a whole lot of like an actual romance or like why they like each other. It just kind of happens. So I do think that might have boosted my enjoyment of this a little bit more because again, everybody's at like arm's length. So you're not getting like the most personal experiences. But I'm surprised with the direction this went. I really should have seen more of it coming because the foreshadowing was very well done and I really enjoyed all of that, but I just like missed it. And I was very surprised. I did not see all of the ending happening, the like basically part 3, like the third act conflict or whatever. I was not expecting that to happen the way that it did, and I should have. The foreshadowing again was there. It was laid out. It was really well done. And I was weirdly surprised by the end. I do wish that there was a little bit more conversations about like power and money and how boarding schools are so expensive or universities are so expensive and a lot of talented people aren't able to get the same opportunities because they don't come from money. I do wish there was just like more of those conversations happening throughout because it just felt a little bit lacking. But I also totally understand where we are following a white privileged woman who does not have the experience of missing out on opportunities because of their ethnicity or whatever, but she is queer. So, but at the end of the day, like, I appreciate the conversation that we did have, especially with Nikki, but I wish there was just more of that throughout because there is a like powerful figure in the book who was more on like the corrupted side. We didn't really get a lot of conversations of like what bred that specifically happening, and I kind of wish that there was more to it. So yeah, overall, I think Walden was a really nice adult character to follow. She's like 38, especially as like I'm aging and growing up and becoming more of an adult, and I'm having a lot of like life changes happening and just things going on behind the scenes. So it's kind of nice to follow a character like this and have kind of guide me through some future things that could possibly happen as I just get older. Still got plenty of time, but I don't want to talk too much about it. But yeah, that's that. I feel like it's a solid book, probably closer to, I guess, like 3.54 stars. I will probably rate up 4 on Goodreads. I did really enjoy it, but it was never like I'm obsessed with it. It was just like a very solid read throughout. I think people who enjoy the writing style or can connect to the characters a little bit more will probably get more out of this. I think just like having the right expectations will also be helpful, knowing that's not like the most dark of academia, and I really love the magic. I kind of wish that we got to see even more of it. I wish that we got to see more of the tattoo stuff and how that worked, and I just love magical tattoos. More like demon summoning or demon imps and like the machines, because that was like some of the my favorite parts of like the imp that was in her cuckoo clock or in the copy machine. It was like, I'm not going on strike because it wanted biscuits. Oh, so cute. So I kind of wish there was more of those moments throughout, but overall, I did really like it. It's a very solid read. Do recommend. So with that said, this one is done. Whoa! In theory, this is supposed to be a 24-hour readathon, but I slept hard and I don't work today, but I still have to like edit and do a couple things. So in theory, I would love to finish A Deadly Education and Plain Bad Heroines today. I just don't know if that's going to be physically possible. but we're gonna do our darndest. Also, we've had thunderstorms this morning, which is really fun and spooky, so it really fits my dark academia atmosphere today. So, anywho, that's all that I have for you for now. I will check in with you guys when I start Deadly Education, but for now, I'm going to get some YouTube work done, so. Good morning, hi. I've showered and I've read the first 2 chapters for Deadly Education, which you can't see. So I read the first 2 chapters last night before heading off to bed. My 24-hour readathon has been a little bit fooled, but if we're doing it technically from like a reading for 24 hours, like the timer method of reading, which won't actually get to 24 hours, so we'll play it by ear. But anywho, so we met Elle, whose name is, I only saw the one time, Gladriel, I believe. She goes by Elle, and she, oh goodness grief, everything is falling out of this book. I'm a mess this morning. She goes by Elle. She is a student at the Scholomance School of Magic and Witchcraft and Wizardry and whatever you wish to call it. It is very comped to a popular TERF's title and works, which is fun because you get like moving staircases. And so I've been liking the magical side. I'm a little bit confused because there's so many magical words that have yet to really been explained, but that'll kind of just, I'll get over that with time. I actually had some comparisons. So we know that a Deadly Education is young adult. So we're following a student's perspective at a deadly school rather than the teacher's. So that's kind of where it differs, but it's still like a deadly school, like bad things can happen. One, you can be eaten by a demon. These little guys that like try and attack the students and like, I'm assuming eat their magic is kind of the gist that I'm getting from it so far. Another like small similarity is that this is set in a school, obviously, but the school was like built into the void, whatever that means. Our students don't really know, but there's like black and stars, so it's almost like space, but they call it the void. And in Tesh's The Incandescent, that was like set in the real reality of the world, but was also like you could kind of go back and forth between like the demon realm, like the edges and the outskirts of that. So those were kind of similar, which I liked. And the other big like thing about this book is that Elle seems to be like a bad magic user, a bad sorcerer. And I'm not entirely sure what that means just yet, but I really like the contrast between her and this kid Orion. Orion is like the golden boy. He saves everybody. He's the reason why the deaths in the school, like the count has gone down, because he's been like rescuing a bunch of people, because I guess he hasn't been getting attacked by these things, so he's just kind of helping out other students, which is abnormal. And we have Elle, who like can't really practice a lot of magic or spells. She knows a bunch. She's very smart, but she's like angsty in the sense where she's like, I'm a dark wizard and I can't do dark magic, because she's like trying to be good at the same time. She can like take from life forces basically very easily. And there's like a word for it, but she's not apparently that. I don't know. But yeah, there's bad people who kill students, and then there's like actual forces working against the students. I haven't yet seen like the classes or anything, but we've really established Elle and Orion as like an enemies, maybe lovers. I don't know. I don't know if this one is queer like The Incandescent, but hi, bud. But 2 chapters in, very long introduction. That's where I'm at with this. I've got a ways to go. If I check in every 3 hours and 10 minutes, there would be 3 check-ins. The entry point, which I'm kind of doing like a pre-entry point, middle, and then the end. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna go skedaddle. I will check in with you guys a bit later. Okay, so we are finishing a Deadly Education today. This is my big plan. I am just a little under halfway now, so I'm going to be finishing this up. But I wanted to chat, give you guys my 50% thoughts. And oh goodness, how do I talk about this one? It's good, but it's not great. It's not my favorite thing. It's not the best thing. We are following Elle in first person, and it's honestly, there's quite a few similarities to The Incandescent, so like good comp. They did great. This is so like academic focused, which I think is good, because you've got Elle just constantly telling us about like the school and how it works, the magical libraries, the different types of mals, which are basically like imps or demons or monsters created from mana, and how like There's no teachers at the school. It's just like pure chaos and a lot of like death and no goods. And I think that's interesting to say the least. I am overall enjoying it as a story. I like that technology is kind of like questionable because the magic evil beings like it. I'm enjoying getting to know like different characters with Elle and like how she's trying to make friends, but also like use each other. I think my favorite thing is Elle and Orion are like slowly becoming friends, and it feels kind of quick just because there is really no way of knowing what time is passing, so it just kind of feels like a lot is happening all the time, and I don't know if it's been 2 months or if it's been a whole semester. Like, I don't know, but I'm enjoying my time with them. Once Orion and Elle really started having conversations and talking about what was going on, I was kind of squealing, like low-key really enjoying it. I really like the way that Orion is kind of a simp for Elle because Elle just treats him like a very normal, regular person, but she's also kind of mean. But I think he kind of likes it. And I like that Elle recognizes that like everybody looks up to Orion. He is the hero of the school and everyone's trying to get in with him, and she's not really using him anymore. At least it started with them using each other, and it was like a kind of quick switch, so I can understand if like people don't like insta love. It's not romantic love yet, but I'm imagining it going such a way. Oh my god. I imagine it going such a way. There was just like a moment though between the two of them where Elle stopped trying to like leech onto him. She like spread a rumor basically indirectly being like, Orion has a crush on Elle, like they're kind of maybe dating. And once she got what she was hoping out of that quick scheme, she kind of like started pulling away from Orion, and Orion was like genuinely like upset. He's like, I thought we were friends, like do you not like my other friends, like are we not cool? And Elle like made the conscious decision like, oh, I'm the first person that treats him normal and he wants just a good friend who's not trying to use him. And she like stops trying to get stuff out of him, and now she's trying to just prove herself to her people. I'm a little bit confused about the school itself and the magic and how things work. Like, there's a final for seniors, and you want to like be in a group because that's how people survive, because it's like really deadly. And then there's enclaves, which are like groups of like city and mages in those cities. They've got like more powers, and you know, it's privilege at the end of the day. And so she's like trying to get into an enclave, but also nobody really wants her because she's kind of a freak, but she's also like kind of like, you know, an evil sorceress. So there's just like a lot happening all the time. Like, it is low key, just all info dump. So if you're not into that style of writing where it's just like, let me go on and on and on about the school and how it works or how the magic works or like what we're doing, you're not really getting a lot of like class time, but you are getting a lot of lunches and scanning for imps or mals and like seeing like if things are safe, and not a lot of character interaction, but you're getting to know other students and see how they are interacting with things and like their special skills. It is interesting, and I think it's just like trying to get used to the writing style of this, really, that I think is what a lot of people reading this won't enjoy, is the way that it's written, but it's not really bothering me too much. So I'm liking it for the most part. Like, I like the whimsy of it. I love the library scenes that we've recently had. I am having a good time and liking it, but it's not like a new favorite yet. I definitely want to continue with the series. I'm definitely intrigued to see like where we're going, what's gonna happen. Like, this book kind of, it feels a little aimless just because like you're just surviving. You're not thinking about too far into the future. Like, your goal is survive graduation and get into an enclave. That's it. And those are like far future, like work towards goals, but you're really just right now in the moment trying to survive and make it to the next day. And I think that's really fascinating. And I really like seeing the decisions that we see Elle make, like depending on if she's going to get a leg up in a situation or if she's going to like be the better person. Like, there's just like a lot of conversations happening with Elle that I'm really enjoying seeing from her as a character. Like, she's just a very strong character. I think she is the Grumpy to Orion Sunshine, and I think that's really precious and sweet. So I'm having a good time with this. I am going to go sit on the couch, and I'm just gonna try to finish this and get her done and really like lock in, sink into the story, and just like absorb as much as I can. And hopefully by the end I will have a full understanding of this magical whimsy world. Okay? So that's my plan for this morning. another book. Done. 2 out of 3. Let's go. Almost done with caffeine. And so with that, let's talk about it. I ended up liking this. Yes, I'm pretty sure. Was I confused? Yes. Did I really like these characters and learning about the void in the mouths and how this like weird non-adult school works? Yes, I really did like so much about it. I think it's just so much info and information all the time, but never full, like it's explained but not in a way that made sense to my brain, and so I was just confused more often than not. Putting confusion aside, I had a really good time. I really love these characters. This book truly made me laugh out loud a few times. I have my ribbon bookmark in one of my favorite scenes towards the end. It's just so funny. I like genuinely laughed out loud a few times. There are some really funny moments. I think Elle as a character is really fantastic. This one made me laugh so hard out loud. Like, it is funny. I love Elle as a character and the way that she explains things to us. It's very academic focused. She's got like one track mind almost, and it is really survival. And there's so many different ways that you can compare this to the Incandescents, and the similarities are great, but you've got a little bit more modern and a teacher focus versus a student focus side of things, and like how it impacts different people in this kind of setting. But I love that they both have this like void-esque bad monster trying to kill students type situation. What's that called? Thing. We're not gonna worry about it. It's fine. We're not gonna try and be smart and think of words when I can't. So yeah, I did really like a lot of this book. I laughed out loud. I had so much fun with the characters. I'm so excited to see like where we go from here. I did really enjoy this. I think I will at some point probably buy both the sequel and the conclusion third book in the series. I thought these were fun. I thought it was a lot of fun. It definitely couldn't be 5 stars just because I couldn't wrap my head around a lot of the magic mana mouths. There was just more confusion than I would have liked, but beyond the confusion, I love the representation in this book. You are getting truly like any and all culture. I really love the emphasis on language and how that affects spells, and I really liked how many our character was taking. I just really liked our character in general. She was incredible. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. It's not a full 5 stars because of the confusion, so I think I'm landing maybe a 4 star because I did really like it. I just wish that I got it more, and maybe upon a reread, it'll make more sense to my brain. As the series goes on, I'll understand a little bit better, but that could have just, been my little pea brain not getting the magic system, which happens. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this. This was a great recommendation. I'm very excited to read Plain Bad Heroines and see how that is at all the same, besides like, I know it's queer. This was not. I believe the sequel has gay characters though, but I'm very intrigued to see how Plain Bad Heroines is at all similar to either of these books because it feels different. So very excited for that. Very happy to have read it. I am hoping to start Plain Bad Heroines maybe tonight. I have to finish a completely unimportant book, not relevant to what we're doing here, but The Hold is due soon, so I have to read that at some point in the next couple of days. But I would really like to get started on Plain Bad Heroines just because it's probably the one out of the 3 that I'm most interested in, and I know Allie only recommended the 2, and I'm kind of like throwing in this 3rd book, but I'm so excited for it. So yes. Okay, I'm gonna go. I have a live show thing to do, so I'll see you guys later. I'm giving you my check-in finally. I'm annoyed with myself because I was like, oh, I'll wait to check in until I get to 25%, even though I was 20% in. And then I like proceeded to not pick this up for a while because, I mean, come on, she's junky. I had to stop in the middle of a chapter. I was so tired last night, but oh boy, where do I start with this? How do I talk about this? This is in similar fashion to the way A Deadly Education is, it is told direct to reader. So somebody is telling us the story of what happened with these plain bad heroines. And I'm loving that. There's footnotes. We're getting just beautiful description, and the prose is incredible. I'm really loving the writing. Like, it's very atmospheric. It's making me it's making me feel things. But last night I was reading a small portion of it, and as our character was like trying to describe, when she was trying to describe like sounds in the house, the way that it was described was so beautiful and atmospheric, and I was like, yes. But then like they heard a sound, and then I heard a sound, and I was home alone, and so I heard a sound down the hall, and so I paused the audiobook, and I'm like, I'm starting to freak myself out, and don't even think this is like objectively going to be a scary book, but like I'm now worried. So there is that. What is this about, you ask? You've told me nothing, Sam. This is kind of potentially two stories. We have a book that was written by an author who was queer and young and sharing their experience, and it's kind of not quite a banned book, but like not commercially successful book. And at this boarding school, these two girls had come across it and like kind of made a fan club for it and like really loved it, like almost giving like a secret society for this book, like dedicated book club, but only this book. It's kind of reminding me of maybe a little bit of Lessons in Vengeance, because they're like really into this author, but that's a little bit more witchy than I think this would be. But basically, these two young girls who were maybe dating really enjoyed this book, were found dead in the forest after a little bit of an incident, and yellow jackets seem to keep popping up. And we're also getting a modern timeline where we are following Audrey, Harper, and Merritt. And it's funny because my sister's name is Harper, and so every time I'm reading it, I'm like, yeah, it's not my sister. But besides that, we are following these girls, and Merritt is an author. She wrote a story basically about the two deaths at this boarding school with the book and these girls. And Harper is a famous actress, and she's gonna like, I think co-produce, but also is like one of the lead roles. And the other lead role, after some circumstances happen, goes to Audrey. And the three of them are like gonna hang out together. I'm explaining this like in the worst way possible for how much I'm loving this book and like how beautiful it is and how much I think everybody should probably read it. Like, I don't hear enough people talking about this. I know it's a bit older of a release. It came out in 2019. So I know there was hype around it. It's been on my radar forever. I bought this like in 2022, I think, and just like had not gotten around to it because it was chunky. But I have really high hopes, really high expectations at this point. I've just been like enjoying every moment. There's drawings inside. It's scrumptious. It's scrumptious to me, you know? So that's where I'm at. Normally, I'm not really a Hollywood fan. I'm not really a big person on Fame. Like, I read Bury Our Gays and I didn't love it. But this isn't giving the same Hollywood vibes. Like, yeah, every once in a while they talk to their, like, agents or, like, they meet for a dinner or something. But, like, it hasn't really been Hollywood-y so far. It might get more throughout, but, like, the closest we get is Harper, who is still like a teen at heart. She's still a child. She's still trying to like live an innocent life while still partying and doing more adult things. So I don't know. I feel like these girls are going to have so much depth to them. The writing, again, I just cannot stop screaming about it. It's so freaking good. I am just having the time of my life. And I just need to like really sit down and like dedicate time. It's one of those books that like deserves all of my attention, and lately my attention span has been kind of shot and I've just been tired. So it's like I want to go to bed early, but I also just like want to like devour this. So we'll see. I'm gonna try and check in with you guys when I get halfway-ish, and then oh yeah, I'll check in when we get to part 2. Wow, that was crazy. So when I get to part 2, I'll check in with you guys on how it's going, and then we'll kind of just continue from there. But I'm having a really good time. I want to love this so much that I'm like maybe scared to pick it up because I don't want to like fall out of loving it with it, you know? Anyways, I've been rambling for a really long time. I'm going to read though for a bit, and then I'm gonna go to bed, take off this makeup, sleep. That's my plan. promise that I'm not going to talk about this book with the justice that it deserves, but oh my god. Okay, so as we said, I made it past. I lied. Okay, I lied to you. I'm so sorry. I got past part 2, so we are at Brookhaunt School for Girls now, where we are getting back and forth chapters between the 3 heroines that we have now, modern day, who are filming a movie-style documentary type situation for the historical chapters that we're getting of Libby and Alex, who were like the previous owners when it was like a running school 100 years prior. Now, again, I don't think I'm doing this book any justice when I talk about it because I'm really just having such a fantastic and wonderful time. The writing is scrumptious. It's so delicate and I don't know how to put it into words that makes it sound good. Like, you know when you like something so much you just can't talk about it? That's kind of where I'm at with this book. Like, are there slow moments? Yes. Is it drawn out a little bit to the point where it's like, we could move this along? Absolutely. But I'm still really, really liking it. I'm still having such a phenomenal time with this. Like, it's everything to me. I love Harper, Audrey, and Merritt. Merritt is such a fucking pain in my ass. She's the worst. She's such an unlikable character that I love her. I love her dynamic with Harper. I love Harper's dynamic with everybody. Harper is such like a sunshine, bubbly personality. And then Audrey's just like kind of the mix of the two, like sides with either or depending on the topic, which I just like adore this little trio. But then we're also getting like the prior historical knowledge following like this book. And nothing like super scary really goes on until like there's like a moment in the first part. And then they get to Brookhaunt, and that's where, like, things start to amp up a little bit, and I'm just like, I'm here for this. Like, I'm ready for the bees to scare me. But I'm just, like, having a really solid time. I just really enjoy the atmosphere of this. I'm really liking our characters. It's just, like, a good time. So my plan is this evening to take off my makeup, get cozy, as you know, and just bang out the last less than 200 pages. So that's kind of my plan, is just finish this tonight and let you guys know how I feel about it either tonight or in the morning. And then this video can be done, but I'm just having a really good time. I do not foresee this going below a 4 stars, but it could, I think, get a 5-star from me. I do think that could happen. So that's kind of where we're at. I just wanted to check in before like I completely finished it and like forgot to ever say anything. I also have this new shirt with like billowy sleeves. I don't know how I feel about it yet though, but that's where I'm at. This is what's going on with me and my little reading update for you guys. But I'll check in when I've finished playing Bad Heroines and we can just wrap this up. Good morning. Coming at you looking a little bit like a mess pre-shower. I want to get this up and like done before I move on with my day and get all presentable. But I have finished playing Bad Heroines and I have done such a bad job explaining the book's premise and the characters and like what I've enjoyed about this. Yes, it's long and I don't necessarily love the past timeline as much as the modern present timeline, but I still found enough enjoyment. I was like on the edge of my seat constantly, like the dread was like building up in my stomach and I was like, I'm going to be sick. So many questions are left unanswered. It's very ambiguous, which I can understand why a lot of people wouldn't enjoy that. I haven't gone through and read reviews yet, but I plan to do that probably after this is done. But I just really, really enjoyed this. Like, this was just a banger for me. It really worked. I really liked the prose. I loved the characters. I was just so invested in what was going on. Just constantly like that pit in my stomach of like, what is happening? What is going to happen? Is everybody going to be okay? Like, what does it all mean? Like, I just want to know what people's theories are for it at this point. I just want to know what people are thinking and saying. Like, I just need to be in the know. Okay? But I really enjoyed this. I loved the writing. I loved how, like, romantic and gothic it felt throughout. And just the way that we interwove the Hollywood side of things to the past timeline to the school. And, like, I just wish that we got, honestly, more. Like, I kind of feel like once we get to part 2, the haunting at Brookhaunt, that's when so much really happens. And there's so much buildup before that point, like 400 pages of buildup. So I do think the pacing is maybe the biggest fault in this book. I do think that if we were able to see Brookhaunt a little bit sooner and had more conclusion and a few more answers to like what was going on, I do think that this would be like the biggest of 5s. I think it's just like a 4.55 kind of feel, like not quite a new favorite of all time, but I do think I'll be thinking about this book for a while to come. So in this video, as you saw, you've seen it, you've watched it, you made it to the end. Thank you so much. If you made it to the end, please put a little B for the Yellow Jackets in the comments. I would really appreciate that. I read 3 Dark Academias, The Incandescents, A Deadly Education, and Plain Bad Heroines. And this is similar to A Deadly Education in the sense that it's like that direct-to-reader, but you don't know who the narrator is for this. I have my theories. I think I know who it might be, but I don't actually know. I don't see a whole lot of similarities to either book. Like, The Incandescent and A Deadly Education, as we've talked about, have so many similarities, and I'm still thinking about A Deadly Education since finishing it. Like, it is living rent-free in my head. I love Elle so much. I cannot wait to continue. But besides this being sapphic and a direct-to-reader, I don't know where the similarities are coming from. But I'm happy I read it either way. I'm happy that I was finally able to kick this beast of a book's butt and like actually get it done. It took way longer than I thought it would. Like, I knew that it was going to be 7 hours for me, but I really took my time with this. I really just wanted to devour it in my own pace and not like rush through it. So I'm glad I didn't continue on with the 24-hour reading plans. Anyways, this video is so long. I've already started editing, so I'm gonna leave you guys here. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. Thank you so much, Allie, for letting me fulfill this video idea that I was dreaming about. And I will see you guys tomorrow for my next video. Please, please watch tomorrow's video. Oh my god. I don't care if you stop watching the rest of this month. Please watch tomorrow's. It'll mean so much to me. Okay? Bye!